Think about the most hardworking person you know, the one who always accepts more work, stays late, and chases every promotion. On paper, their life looks perfect. Higher salary, better title, more respect. But here is a simple question most people avoid asking. Are they actually happy when no one is watching? Many people appear successful from the outside, but their daily life tells a different story. They get home tired, eat quickly, and keep checking work messages late into the night. Their mind never rests. They worked hard to reach this level, yet something feels off. But what exactly is missing? Promotions bring more money and recognition, but they often take something important away. Time, energy, and peace slowly disappear. Some people notice this early and choose a different path. Others keep going, hoping the next raise will fix everything. But here's the truth most people discover too late. Earning more money does not automatically mean living better. In fact, many people feel more stressed as their income grows. Sounds strange, right? But once you understand how money really works, it starts to make sense. And once you see it clearly, you can't unsee it again. Let's start with a simple example. Imagine your salary increases from a decent level to a much higher one. It feels exciting. You celebrate. You feel like your hard work finally paid off. But here's what most people don't calculate. How much of that increase actually stays with you? Taxes take a big portion immediately. Before you even touch your money, a large part is already gone. What looked like a big raise now feels smaller. But this is only the beginning, because the biggest cost is not taxes. It's something far more subtle and powerful. This hidden cost is called lifestyle inflation. As your income grows, your spending quietly grows too. You upgrade your home, your car, your habits. Things that once felt like luxury become normal, and without noticing, your expenses rise to match your income almost perfectly. Now think about this. If your expenses rise every time your income rises, are you really getting richer, or are you just running faster on the same financial treadmill? This is why many high earners still feel stuck. They make more money, but their financial position doesn't improve much. Studies show that even people earning very high incomes often live paycheck to paycheck. That sounds shocking, but it happens more than you think. The problem is not how much they earn. The problem is how their spending adjusts. More money simply creates more room to spend. Imagine your income as a bucket. If the bucket has a hole, it doesn't matter how big it is. Water will keep leaking out. Many people focus on increasing the size of the bucket, but ignore the hole. That hole is uncontrolled spending, and it quietly drains everything. Now let's go deeper. A promotion often comes with more responsibilities and longer hours. You're no longer just doing your job. You're managing people, solving problems, and constantly thinking about work. Your time becomes less flexible, and your stress level increases significantly. Here's something most people never calculate. Your real income is not just your salary. It's your salary divided by your time. If you work more hours, your hourly value can actually decrease. So even with a higher salary, you might be earning almost the same per hour. Think about two people. One earns more but works long hours. The other earns less but has a balanced schedule. When you break it down per hour, the difference becomes surprisingly small. Now ask yourself this question. Is the extra stress and time really worth that small difference? Here's where it gets even more interesting. Many high-level roles don't pay extra for overtime. Once you reach a certain level, you're expected to work as long as needed. That means extra hours bring no extra reward. You're giving more of your life without additional reward. Now imagine what you could do with those extra hours instead. This is where things become powerful. Instead of giving all your time to one job, you could build something of your own. A small business, freelancing, or even learning a valuable skill that grows over time. You don't need something big or risky. Even a simple side income can make a huge difference. If you earn a small amount consistently and invest it wisely, it grows over time. Slowly at first, then faster. This is how real wealth is built, quietly and steadily. Let's paint a clear picture. Imagine saving and investing a small amount every month. At first, it feels small, but over the years, it compounds. Your money starts working for you, and one day you realize you've built something meaningful without sacrificing your entire life. Now compare that to someone who focused only on climbing the career ladder. They earned more, yes, but they also spent more and had less time. After many years, they may have less freedom than the person who chose balance. That's the surprising part. Let me tell you a simple story. One person kept accepting promotions, working longer hours each year. Another person stayed at a comfortable level and used extra time to build additional income. Years later, their lives look very different, even though they started in the same place. The first person has a high salary but many financial obligations, expensive house, car payments, lifestyle costs. They can't easily step away from their job. The second person has multiple income sources and lower expenses. They have options, and options create true freedom. Here's the key idea most people miss. Wealth is not just about income, it's about control. Control over your time, your choices, and your future. If your income traps you in a lifestyle you can't escape, then it's not true wealth. So what should you do instead? First, understand your numbers clearly. Know how much you earn, spend, and save. Second, avoid automatic lifestyle upgrades every time your income increases. Be intentional. Just because you can spend more doesn't mean you should. Third, protect your time. Time is your most valuable asset. Use it wisely. If you can free up even a few hours each week, you can build something meaningful over time. Small efforts done consistently create powerful results. And finally, think long-term. Short-term rewards can be tempting, but long-term freedom is far more valuable. Every decision you make today shapes your future. The question is simple. Are you building a life you actually want or just chasing what looks good on paper? In the end, success is not about titles or salaries. It's about how you live every day. It's about peace of mind, freedom, and purpose. And once you understand this, you start making very different choices. Choices that truly move your life forward. Her parents worried when she declined those promotions. They thought something must be wrong, but everything was actually working in her favor. At 38, she earns a solid income and works from home. She cooks dinner calmly in the evening, like someone who owns her time instead of renting it to a schedule. While others were chasing titles, she focused on consistency. For years, she steadily invested part of her income without interruption. No big drama, no sudden changes, just discipline. That simple habit built a strong financial base, and now her savings quietly reflect years of smart, patient decisions most people overlook. She also built something extra on the side. Nothing flashy, just using the same skills she already had. Slowly, it started generating income each month. Instead of spending it, she invested most of it. This created a second engine of growth, working silently in the background of her life. Now, think about this for a second. She's not stressed about money every day. She travels, reads, and enjoys her time. Meanwhile, someone earning more may feel trapped. So the real question becomes clear. Is higher income actually helping, or is it creating more pressure? When you compare both lives side by side, the difference becomes obvious. One person earns more but owns less of their time and money. The other earns slightly less but builds stronger financial security. Over time, this gap grows wider. And here's the powerful force behind it. Compounding rewards consistency, not status. It doesn't care about your job title or how impressive your role sounds. It only responds to time and steady investment. The earlier you start and the longer you continue, the stronger the results become. This is where real wealth quietly forms. Here is something important most workplaces will never tell you. Promotions are not designed to make you financially free. They are designed to increase productivity for the company. And over time, these two ideas have been mixed together so well that people assume they are the same thing. But think about it carefully. If everyone became financially independent quickly, companies would struggle to keep workers. So the system encourages effort, ambition, and competition. It rewards visible progress like titles, while real wealth building often happens quietly in the background, away from attention. There's a concept that explains this clearly. Imagine your workplace like a competition with many participants but very few winners. Everyone works hard hoping to reach the top, but only a small percentage actually gets there. Yet everyone continues giving their time and energy to the system. Now ask yourself this question. What happens to the majority who never reach the top position? They still spent years working longer hours and sacrificing personal time. The system benefits from their effort even if they never receive the highest rewards. That is the hidden structure most people ignore. And recently, it has become even more extreme. Promotions are becoming harder to get while expectations keep rising. Companies are better at motivating employees without increasing pay significantly. This creates a situation where people work harder for rewards that are less certain than before. Sometimes people even accept promotions without higher pay. It sounds unbelievable, but it happens often. The title alone feels like progress. It feels like recognition. But if the income does not increase, what exactly changed? More responsibility, more pressure, but no real financial improvement. Here is the surprising part. Many people prefer a better title over more money. That shows how powerful status can be. Companies understand this and use it. They offer recognition instead of real financial growth, knowing that many workers will accept it without questioning the long-term impact. Over time, worker productivity has increased significantly. People are producing more value than ever before, but their pay has not grown at the same pace. So where is the extra value going? This is a question worth thinking about deeply because it reveals how the system truly works. Now let's look at a deeper risk. When your identity becomes tied to your job title, you lose flexibility. You stop seeing yourself as someone with skills and options. Instead, you see yourself as your role. And this can become dangerous when things suddenly change. Imagine losing a job after years of building your identity around it. It's not just about income. It feels personal. It feels like losing a part of yourself. This emotional impact can be even stronger than the financial loss, making recovery more difficult than expected. Research shows that losing a job can affect long-term earnings significantly. People may struggle to regain their previous income level for many years, so relying completely on one job is not just risky, it can have lasting financial consequences that are hard to reverse. And here's something happening right now. Many companies are reducing middle management roles. These are the very positions people worked hard to reach. The climb that once seemed secure is now less stable. This shift is changing the value of traditional career paths. The people most affected are not always underperformers. Often they're experienced workers with higher salaries and responsibilities. When companies restructure, they look for ways to reduce cost, and higher-level roles become easy targets, regardless of past performance or effort. Now compare two situations again. One person depends entirely on their job for income. The other has multiple sources and lower expenses. When change happens, who is in a stronger position? The answer is clear. Flexibility creates security, not just income level. Many people stay in jobs they don't enjoy because they feel they cannot leave. Their expenses are too high and their lifestyle depends on their salary. This is often called golden handcuffs. It looks comfortable from the outside, but it limits freedom in reality. Think about this honestly. If money was not a concern, would you still choose your current work situation? Many people would say no. That means their choices are controlled by financial pressure, not personal preference, and that is not true freedom. Now let's talk about happiness. Research shows that income does improve well-being, but only up to a point. After a certain level, the impact becomes smaller. More money still helps, but it doesn't increase happiness in the same powerful way as before. For many people, emotional challenges like stress or anxiety are not solved by higher income. Money can improve comfort, but it cannot fix deeper issues. This means chasing income alone is not enough. A balanced life matters just as much, if not more. Interestingly, people often believe they need far more money to be happy than research suggests. They set very high targets and spend years chasing them. But once they reach those levels, they realize the improvement and happiness is smaller than expected. Here's a surprising finding. Having a small emergency fund can improve financial confidence more than earning a very high income. Just knowing you can handle unexpected expenses reduces stress significantly. That sense of security is more powerful than many people realize. This shows an important truth. Financial stability is not about earning the most money, it's about building systems that protect you. Savings, investments, and controlled spending create peace of mind, and peace of mind is a key part of a good life. More people are starting to understand this. Many workers now prefer stability, health, and time over climbing the corporate ladder. Their priorities are changing. They want balance, not just income, and this shift is quietly reshaping how success is defined. Some choose to stay in roles where they feel comfortable and capable. Instead of chasing promotions, they focus on improving their skills and quality of life. This approach may look less ambitious on the surface, but it often leads to better long-term results. There's also another path many overlook. Instead of moving upward, some people move sideways in their careers. They learn new skills, explore different roles, and build a broader experience. Over time, this can actually lead to better opportunities and higher income. Now, here's an important point. Not every promotion is bad. Some can be very valuable, especially if they include ownership or long-term benefits. But the key is understanding the full picture before making a decision, not just focusing on the salary increase. If a promotion brings significant stress, longer hours, and removes your ability to grow outside work, you need to think carefully. The cost may be higher than it appears, and once you commit, it can be difficult to step back. Most companies will not show you this full calculation. Their goal is to encourage you to accept more responsibility, so they highlight the benefits and minimize the costs. That's why it's important to think independently and evaluate decisions carefully. Remember the person we imagined at the beginning, the one who said yes to everything. Now imagine a different version of that person, someone who chose balance, invested consistently, and protected their time. Their life may look simpler, but it feels much more controlled. The first time you say no to a promotion, it can feel uncomfortable. You may worry about falling behind. Others may question your decision, but this feeling doesn't last forever. Over time, clarity replaces that uncertainty. The extra time you keep starts to create new opportunities. You build skills, grow investments, and reduce stress. Slowly, your life begins to shift, and you realize that success is not about keeping up with others, but about designing a life that works for you. A few years later, the difference becomes clear. One person is still chasing the next level, while the other has built stability and options. The gap is no longer just financial. It's about freedom, control, and overall quality of life. In the end, saying no is not about giving up. It's about choosing a different path. A path where your time, money, and energy work together. A path where you're not just earning, but building something meaningful and lasting. So here's the final thought. Go home earlier when you can. Invest consistently. Build something on the side. Let time and discipline work for you. Because while companies focus on their growth, you should focus on yours in a way that truly benefits your life.